Hey YouTube, welcome back. Welcome to, part one of many parts of my overview and take on the SeL Omnidiver MK1. This is a beautiful, beautiful watch, and there's just so many layers to it, and I thought I'd take my time, wear the watch for a month, which I've already done so I'm out of the honeymoon phase, and go through step by step and talk about all the amazing features and details and engineering that has gone into this watch. So this particular video is going to focus on the design and the specifications of this watch. So here is the MK1 SeL Omnidiver. So right off the bat, the entire watch and all SeL Omnidivers are made out of grade 5 titanium. They are all milled in Tucson, Arizona, and assembled in Tucson, Arizona by Andrew McLean, who is the owner and machinist slash whatever else you want to say. He does a lot of the work by himself. And I can't argue because I love titanium. This watch from far looks like it's going to be a beast, considering it is a 48 millimeter diameter, and lug to lug, it's 52.5, 53. So looking at this looks like it's probably a 220, 230 gram watch. However, in grade 5 titanium, it comes across as 161, 62, depending on how many links you have, size for your wrist. So grade 5 titanium is amazing. It is obviously the better quality of titanium compared to grade 2. A lot of watches use grade 2 and say they're titanium, but the benefits of grade 2 versus grade 5, I'm not going to try to explain that in this video. I'm just letting you know that the grade 5 stuff is higher grade. It's used in aerospace. This watch has a very cool design language, right? So let's talk about it. So it is unique. There's nothing else out there that looks like this, right? In terms of how it's been set up. If you notice both sides, there is no crown. So the crown has been placed at 6 o'clock so that it can be used and utilized by anyone who wants it ambidextrously, meaning it's great for lefties, it's great for righties, and the crown is nicely tucked in over here at 6 o'clock. And you can see that the 12 o'clock has a solid lug, and on the bottom, the 6 o'clock has a split lug, in that the crown takes a position in the middle. And I love that because I've had Seiko Tunas where they have the 4 o'clock crown. I've had tons of Rolex 3 o'clock. Then I've had SINs with 4 o'clock or the 10 o'clock crown. They're all cool, and in a way, I mean, I'm one of those people who juggles the watch left to right wrist, depending on the day, depending on what I'm doing. Sometimes it's that day I'm just putting it on my right wrist, and sometimes I'll wear it on my left. So for me, because I tend to do that, that used to get a little bit, not annoying, but just it just didn't look good on one wrist versus the other. And so I loved this concept right off the bat, putting it here. And then again, once you set it, even for automatic or the quartz version, you're not going to really, if you're wearing this watch, you really don't have to do anything else to it. While it is nestled in there, it does pop out quite a bit, so you can get access to it. And so that's the crown. Now, the other cool design feature, or I should say design element on here, is the date window. So in discussion with Andrew, he mentioned that it is a unique location and probably not where most of us would see a date window. So for the automatics, we've got it here around like 145, and then for his high accuracy quartz, he's got it at, I think, between 7 and 8. And the reason is because he doesn't want the SeL Omnidiver or any of his SeL watches to be copies of what other people are doing. It's not another watch, it's a SeL, right? So there's certain design elements that he's put in there to make this watch unique, but also true to what it is, which is a SeL Instruments watch. So initially, the location of that was weird for me. After a couple of days, it fit right in, so I'm not too worried about it. But just thought I'd mention that for some people, that is going to be a unique position, either here or here. let's go on to the next one. So Lug Integration. So this watch has integrated lugs into the body, and some people may be confused as to how this fits or how this affects the fit on the wrist. And let me tell you, it is awesome. The design of these lugs makes it short and sweet. Let me just take this off the cushion. What happens is, because of these lugs, you are able to get almost full drop down on your wrist. So if you have smaller wrists, so my left wrist is 7.35 sometimes, and then my right wrist is 7.5. This fits beautifully and it wraps around the wrist perfectly. But if you have smaller wrists, this will allow you to have the lugs and the bracelet taper all the way down, and the flexibility in this bracelet will allow you to have, you know, a very good fit. So I think lug integration is pretty cool. It allows the watch to have really good flow, because, you know, we've seen male end links sometimes stick out this far and then they bend at this point. So technically your lug end is here, but for the SeL Omnidiver and anything that uses this bracelet from SeL, they all have this design language where it allows you to have the full movement to how it'll fit on your wrist. So I think that's really clutch, and one of the biggest reasons why I find it to be superbly comfortable on wrist. I talked about the dial, and one more thing I just wanted to mention in the design of it. It is based on what we would say is military spec dials, if you will, and that's why you've got loom plots everywhere. You do have your 1 to 12 hours, and then also the 24-hour kind of hour markers in there. You do see this is 600 atmosphere or 6,000 meters depth resistant. 6,000. Let that sink in. 6,000 meter depth resistance, which is crazy considering the last watch I had on my channel that had anywhere close to that was a Zen UX at 5,000 meters. I believe it, and you know, Andrew at SeL, they've done the testing for this entire case, the body. This is, I think, a 6 millimeters thick sapphire glass. And, you know, this watch has some unique features in that the glass is actually isolated from the outside. And I might be misspeaking here, and I hope I'm not. I'll come back if I'm incorrect. But the movement and the glass are one piece, and then there is an internal, and that's in an internal kind of case, and then all of that gets fed into the larger outside case. So that way you can drop this watch, you can take shock, can take, you know, there's videos of Andrew dropping his personal SeL, which I think is Omnidiver #1, onto the floor of his shop, and that thing just keeps on ticking, no problems. So, you know, as much as we all love to go to the max in terms of depth resistance, it's kind of hard to see certain watches at 200 meters, and then you have this beast at 6,000 meters depth resistance. So even for those Marine Master tunas at 1,000 meters, I know there's videos of them going up to 2,000-3,000, which is great for over engineering, but this thing is rated to 6,000, so good chance there's probably a factor of safety built in and it can go deeper. But let's be honest, who's going 6 kilometers below the surface? I'm not, but it's always cool to have that, you know, have that spec. Yeah, I think that covers my kind of design intent that I wanted to cover just about the watch on its own. I will come back and talk about other features / design intent or engineering spec in another video. So once again, I appreciate everyone's support. Again, I'm just doing this to educate everyone. There's really not much out there in terms of what an Omnidiver is or what a SeL Instruments watch is, and I'm hoping to get a little more light and awareness to what has now become my favorite brand of watch. So thanks again, guys. I appreciate everyone's time. Please like and subscribe. This is going to be a continuing love affair, if you will, with the SeL watch, so stay tuned. Thank you.